Hey everybody, it's Katie here, and I am super excited for this live today, you guys. I've been really anticipating this time for the last week or so, and I really appreciate all of your time and you guys scheduling to be here. If you can't be here, how would you know? Since I'm saying it right now. But if you've got a friend that you think might really like this information or might be interested in what I have to say here, it will be available for a replay later. So you can absolutely share it, once we're all done. So let's get started. I want to tell you what my credentials are, basically. Why do I think I'm cool enough to do a video like this? So I've had my license here in Arizona since 2007, my salesperson's license, and I've had my broker's license since 2014. So I've been in the business a little while. Prior to that, I was actually a mortgage lender. So I've been in the industry for about 20 years or so. I am the owner of Team EvoAZ. We are now at eXp Realty, just made a change a couple of months ago. And we consistently close between 60 and 85 transactions a year and have been for years. So a lot of experience there. We've basically seen it all, have a lot of negotiation chops and, experience seeing issues before they become issues, basically. So that's basically why I'm here today. Hey, Tom and Susan, good to see you guys. When you first start thinking about wanting to become an agent, obviously, you've got to get licensed. So school is the first step. Here in Arizona, as far as I know, you cannot do your initial classes online. That's just for continuing ed. So you have to do it in person. It's 90 hours of in-person class time, and then you have a school test. They kind of prepare you for the state and the national exam. And then you have the state and national after that. School is probably gonna run you about $400 or so, give or take. I do have a referral for a school that I love. I know owners of a school here locally in town. Happy to refer you there. I might even be able to get you a coupon for a little bit of money off of that as well. So let me know if you're interested and I'll point you in that direction. Hey JD, I suggest that you get school done as quickly as possible. Don't drag it out over a year or 2 years or anything like that, because honestly, what you learn in school mostly prepares you for the test. I mean, you're going to use some of that stuff, but even the instructors in there will tell you, a lot of the stuff that they're teaching you is just to prepare you to pass the test. And then after that, you're going to really get down and dirty in the industry and really get your hands on, experience after that. Listen to what they say to study. They will tell you what to study so that you can pass the test. In my experience anyway, and in the experience of a couple of the other agents on my team, they said the same thing. So your instructor, really listen to what they have to say, follow their direction. They do this day in and day out, right? Their job is for you to pass the test. What else do I want to tell you about that? Study daily. Don't take a bunch of time between finishing your classes and testing out because you're just going to lose that information. So when it's fresh, when it's, right there at the tip of your tongue, basically, you're going to want to take that test and get it done. That's what I did. I did my first class, in 2007, I think I did it in 9 days or something like that. It was really quick. And then I passed the test the first time, both times, broker's license too. And just what I told you is exactly what I did. I listened to what they said, I studied what they told me to study, and I tested pretty much immediately after finishing my classes. While you're in school, work on getting your fingerprint clearance card. You're gonna need that to apply for your license, and it takes a little while now. Back in the day when I got mine, it didn't take so long, so we just waited till we were done school to get it. But now I'm hearing it takes a while, so it's a good idea to get that up front. Keep in mind that's an added expense. Also, taking the state and national exam is an expense. Trying to remember, I think they're $70 each, 70 or $100 each, something like that. And if you don't pass and you have to take the test again, you got to pay it again. So keep that in mind. Start to consider where you want to hang your license while you're in school, meaning what brokerage do you want to work for? And some different things to consider there is training. Training is going to be your biggest deal. It's going to be your biggest thing. So ask them a lot of questions about what their training looks like and what their training programs look like, what the process is it standard for everybody, that kind of thing. If they have them show their current calendar to you, if they can't show you their calendar, then I might be a little skeptical of if they're going to deliver on what they promise. So have them show you, hey, for our new agents, here's the curriculum this week, or here's the curriculum this month. Have them really show it to you. Technology is going to be super huge. I'm sorry, I'm just getting over the flu, so my throat's a little bit dry. Hey, Marcia. Technology is going to be really, really big. You are going to want to prepare yourself for a CRM program, I think it stands for Customer or Client Relationship Manager. So basically that's where everybody you know is going to go in. You're going to put them in, you're going to put their name, phone number, email, Facebook, all of that stuff. Hi, Matt. And this is where you're going to be able to organize the information. You're going to be able to set them up on campaigns so that you know when to contact your buyers and sellers. Or maybe I have people that are on the back burner and they're not ready to buy for another, I don't know, year or two. You're going to want to keep in touch with them. So this is kind of like your keep in touch system. You're also going to want to look into different paperless systems like, online signing programs and things like that. Just hi, just things that will help your life and be a lot easier when you're working with clients, and you could be more mobile. So if you can do it from your mobile phone, bonus, that's what you want. So look to your brokerage for direction on that, or when you're interviewing brokers, ask them what they have. I know specifically at EXP, they give you a CRM. They have quite a few of those, mobile phone based programs that you can use for your business. And they're very, very helpful. And basically you can office anywhere, right? That's what you want, especially in this day and age. EXP just really offers futuristic stuff almost. I mean, it's really, really cool what we've been digging into. You're going to want to really look at what their brand and market share is, like really their reach. So is it well branded online? There's a lot of really cool boutique brokerages out there that may not be online. And I really feel like it's important in this day and age to be online. I mean, I think the statistic is something like 88% of buyers and sellers go to Google before they even call an agent. So having that brand online is really super important to me anyway. Does the company have a good amount of listings? That's really important too. You want to see what the market share for the company is, because your buyers and sellers are going to be doing the same thing. So you come along and you're doing a listing appointment or you're talking with a buyer, they're going to be Googling you. They're going to be Googling your company. They're going to want to see that there's been people that have come before them, basically, and you're not cutting your teeth on these people. So they're going to want to see that there's listings out there, that there's activity, that there are sales happening. So make sure that your brokerage has a good amount of market share. People get really, really hung up on splits, guys, and costs, and where that's important, and you really, really do need to look at that, from a budget standpoint. I don't know that necessarily be my deciding factor up front, because honestly, you're going to get into this business. You're probably not going to have any transactions at first. So you're going to want to look for a brokerage that offers good training, right? So that you can get some transactions, and keep in mind that, 20%, 25%, 50% of nothing is still nothing. So if you're choosing your brokerage based upon their cost, and you get what you pay for no matter what, you guys, with anything. If you're choosing them based on their cost, they probably don't provide the tools that you need to actually, to catapult you, to get you up and running. So do the splits matter at that point? No, they really don't. What matters is that you get experience and knowledge under your belt, and that you find and you connect yourself with a good brokerage that'll be able to do that for you. It's hard enough to get started as it is. You just really need to pave that path for yourself up front. Even, like I said, start doing this before you're done with school. Start doing this before you test. Also check and see what their availability is there for a mentor or for a team to connect with. A lot of people are going to teams these days. It makes a lot of sense. You know, if the team is set up appropriately, it's great for clients because there's never a phone call that goes unanswered. You know, there's never a job undone because somebody's out showing property, because somebody's on vacation, something like that. With a single agent, that tends to happen. And teams can be a whole team of agents, or maybe your team it's you and an assistant, and your lender is part of your team, and your inspector is part of your team. So just look and see what is available there for you to plug into, for you to start kind of creating so that you offer the best service possible to your clientele. That is really, really big, is offering the best service possible to your clientele. Customer service is everything, you guys. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Jenny. Okay, so let's just say that's all done. You've figured out what brokerage you want to go to. You're in school. Oh, yay, you passed the test. Okay, so now it's time to get your license. So once you pass the test and you get your contract writing boot camp handled, they'll explain what that is in school, don't worry. You've got your fingerprint card. Now it's time to go to the department and get officially licensed. Once you get officially licensed, then you'll join your brokerage and your local board. Now, I'm talking Arizona. I know we have people that are not in Arizona that are watching this or will be watching the replay. So you'll just want to just call the Department of Real Estate in your state and just ask them, and they'll tell you what needs to be done and what those steps are. Let's see. So aside from any brokerage sign-on fees, it's about $300 a year here in Arizona for a salesperson for you to have MLS access, super access, and about $500 a year for your board. So say, you know, give or take, or $1,000 or so in Arizona for a salesperson's license. That's what you're going to pay to maintain it year after year. I'm a broker, so my fees are double that. Some other expenses that you can expect up front is, remember that CRM that I talked about, the customer relationship manager. If your brokerage does not offer that to you already, you will need to find one. I have some suggestions for you. And you can get real robust on that and pay a couple $100 a month, or you could pay $150 a year and have something that's not so robust, but it does the job and it's going to get you basically moving in the right direction for now. And it's a little bit more budget friendly. You will need signs, for sale signs and open house signs. And that could be a couple of $100 for, you know, depending on how many signs that you need. I do have referrals for sign companies that we use that have been great to us over the years, and I'm happy to share that. Lock boxes, those are a little under $100 a piece. And that's for those, what we call our armless boxes. So that's an electronic box, basically, that only a realtor key can open. And it does some really cool things, like it tracks, you know, it tracks your showings, it tracks how long they were in the property, it tracks license number, date, time, all of that stuff. Just in the event you ever had an issue and you had to pull those records, it's really, really good to have. So I suggest not using the manual lock boxes. That is just a nightmare for you and your sellers. Spend the money, get the electronic boxes. They are much better, much more efficient. And of course, I love technology, so you know that. Business cards. You're gonna need some business cards or something to pass out in open houses, things like that. Depending on the quality, maybe $50 to $100 to get you started on business cards. An IDX, you're gonna want an IDX. What is that? That is basically how we plug our MLS into our website. So it's tied to our MLS, and it's something that you program into your website. It sounds more complicated than it really is, but that allows people to, if you're posting on Facebook and you post a house and they want to take a look at it, they have to sign in, right? And so you get their contact information so you can begin to build that relationship with them. You know who's looking at your stuff. You can start to build your database that way. It also helps when, somebody from, I don't know, out of state is Googling your name and they or Googling real estate in your area and they happen upon your website and they get on there and they're like, well, I want to look at a couple of houses. Click, all of a sudden they're looking at houses, they're all excited about it, and oops, your little thing pops up, says, give me your information. What are they gonna do? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna put it in because they wanna continue looking at houses. So give people that ability. It's very helpful for you and will help build your database on the back end. Other than that, you definitely need a phone these days, a smartphone. Keep yourself organized, a good computer, and a good clean car. So maybe you already have those things and that's not something that you have to go out and buy. So I'm not necessarily gonna give, a suggestion on cost of those things for your startup cost list here, because most people already have those things when they get into the business. Preparing yourself is really, really important, guys. Don't get into the business knowing nothing. Get your license. Don't do any preparation and then just say, oh, okay, I have my license, what now? Start preparing before the license comes and you'll be able to hit the ground running. You will appreciate it, trust me. So what do I mean by preparing? Well, real estate is a relationship business. I mean, we see a lot of what I call billboard marketers out there where they feel like, they just throw up ads here and there and they're going to get clients. Well, maybe they get, 1 or 2, but your real good clients are gonna come from the relationships that you've built and your sphere, your network, people who know you. Referrals really, really are the best, let me tell you. They're the best people to work with. They're already sold on you. They don't need you to do anything additional for that. So relationship, 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 relationship. What can you do now while you're in school? Start gathering names and phone numbers of everybody you know. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they live in Switzerland. Get their name and phone number into that database. Start to think about maybe, where are these people coming from? Your Facebook friends, family, friends, people from church, people from school, people from work. Okay, so just start, write out a list. When I first started, I just sat with a notebook and I just wrote all these people that I know. And get them into that database. You also may consider niches. So are you from New England? Like me. That could be a niche. You could start to network with people from that area because you have something in common with them. Are you a horse owner? Network with people who own horses, things like that. So there's niches out there of people, depending, hikers, depending on what your passion is, that really help you to connect a little bit more deeply with the person. So look at that, start thinking about things that you love, start thinking about your passion, and start trying to find groups that you can plug yourself into within those passions. Don't buy leads. Don't buy leads. No, not especially up front. You don't need to buy leads. That is a huge money sucker. You are not experienced enough to convert the leads. They're usually fairly cold leads, so you really need to have good chops in order to get them converted. It's so much better, you guys, to go the relationship route, especially in the beginning. Work with people that already know, love, and trust you instead of buying leads. Maybe in the future, you might look at buying leads, but I just told you I've been in this business about 12 years now. Well, 20, but part of that was as a mortgage originator. I've been as a realtor for 12 years now. I don't buy leads. You don't need to buy leads. I can give you so many ideas of what directions to go into to cultivate your own leads. You don't need to buy them. Don't spend the money. Don't rely on your memory. We talked about that CRM. It's really, really important. I meet so many new agents that say, oh, my database is in my Outlook, or I put all my follow-ups in my calendar, or hell, I have a great memory. I just remember it all. No, you don't. It's going to be a train wreck, trust me. Once you start getting busy and you even have one buyer under your belt that you're out looking at houses for, that system's gonna fall apart. You need a CRM to keep things straight. Yes, Tom, me too, 100%, buddy. You need a CRM. So no relying on memory here. Lastly, shadow anybody that you can, but for goodness sakes, make sure that they're experienced. You don't want to shadow people who don't know what they're doing, aren't good negotiators, don't have the experience under their belt, can't see issues before they become issues. You don't want bad habits. So research who you decide you're going to hop into the car with, but definitely shadow anyone that will let you that is experienced, because, and be a sponge. You will learn so much, trust me, from that. Preview property daily. I can't stress that enough. See between 5 and 10 houses is good daily, because and pick different areas, different products, things like that, because then you're going to start to build a map in your head and you're going to know, okay, you know, that particular area of Mesa has this product, this product, this product. It's about this price range to this price range. You know, you're going to start to know what areas offer what and at what price points. And that's going to be super, super helpful when you're in the car with buyers, when you're on the phone trying to convert, when you're online trying to convert, to know this stuff off the top of your head. Really, really important. Can't stress that enough. Know your product, know your market out there, you guys. I think that's it. I thought I had a little bit more notes for you. I'm not seeing any questions come up yet with my viewers here. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I do have a couple of questions that, you know, some people have asked that weren't able to be with us today that I'll get into. And if nobody else has any other questions, well, it's just going to be short and sweet today. Okay, so Terry says, I've been looking at schools. Is there one that you recommend? What should we look for when finding a good school? Okay, Terry, there is one that I recommend, actually. Matt and I are great friends with the owners of the forum. Just Google the forum, check them out. They're awesome. They're in South Chandler. And again, I may be able to get you a coupon for the forum. So if you want to check the forum out, hit me up on private message and I'll see what I can do for you. What should you look for when finding a school? You know, in my experience, they're all pretty comparable. I would just look at their reviews. Check out reviews, rely on reviews for that. Suzanne says, is the startup, the licensing process, i.e. the licensing process, long and expensive? We just went through that a little bit, Suzanne. The licensing process, you're gonna do about 90 hours worth of school time, and then it just depends on, you know, how long it takes you to pass the school test, how long it takes you to pass the state and the national. After that, you're gonna get into a contract writing boot camp, and then boom, you're ready to roll. What was the second part of that? Is it long and expensive? I went over at the beginning of the video, went over the basic expenses for that too. So just catch it when you can. Suzanne also says, how do you get established working for a company? So we went over that as well, Suzanne. You have good questions, and I covered them already, so that's cool. Jenny says, so many people think this might be a good part-time gig. What is your response to that? So it's kind of a long answer. So with your real estate license, you can do a lot of stuff. You can work for yourself, just fix and flip properties. You can do just friends and family, or, you know, you can go into property management. So I think it really depends on what your goals are, and that will kind of answer the question of whether or not it's a good part-time gig. Because if I'm just flipping property for myself, yeah, great part-time gig. Awesome, perfect. But if I'm looking to work with the general public, and it's, you know, it's quite a liability to do that, you guys. I mean, you got to know your stuff. You can't fool around with that. So if I want to work with the general public and really build my business up, then it's probably not a good part-time gig, because am I going to be able to gain enough experience to cover my own behind and to cover my clients? Just part-time, probably not going to happen. And am I going to be available to my clients when they need me available to them? Probably not if I'm working a desk job or doing something else. Great question, Jenny. Linda says, in the beginning, what are your out-of-pocket expenses? Great question. Went over that already, Linda. Just catch it on the replay. It's in the beginning of the video. Is this doable for a single mom? Absolutely 100%. I know a bunch of single moms that do the real estate thing and do it very, very well. So it's not as easy as everybody thinks. It's an easy business to get into. Honestly, it's not hard to pass the test. It's not hard to pay the fees. It's not hard to join a board. It's not hard to pick a brokerage. But to really, really be successful, to really know your stuff so that people know, like, trust, and refer you, yeah, it's not easy. So understand that, know that, work hard, connect yourself with the right people. And yeah, single mom, you can do it all day long. You guys are like extra superhumans anyway, so I don't doubt that you can do it. Is the market saturated already? Good question. So last stat that I knew, and I don't even know how highly accurate this is, but it's probably pretty close, is that there are 90,000 licensees in the state of Arizona. 90,000, that's a lot. But really, there is only a small percentage that do most of the business. So saturated in terms of, yeah, there's a lot of people that have a license. Honestly, everybody and their mother has a license, right? It seems like, but your competition, smaller percentage, I would say. Tom says, what are the 3 mistakes new agents make? Ones we should avoid? Well, we went over a couple of those in the beginning. That's a really, really great question. And I didn't kind of call them mistakes. It was more like advice. So we'll go back over that. And basically, it's not getting a CRM, I think, is a huge mistake. Relying on your memory, relying on Outlook, putting, your follow-ups in your calendar. I think that is a huge, huge mistake. Get yourself organized and get your technology under control before you get started, and you'll really appreciate that, especially once you start getting busy. Number 2 is buying leads. It's a thing, but guys, it's not a thing. Real estate is a relationship business. Go out and form those relationships. Join every networking group that you can. Get out there and meet people. Get out there and meet people in your niche. Just get out there. Get belly to belly with people. I mean, really, a large percentage of gaining clients is showing up, to be honest, and start asking for referrals. Ask your family, ask your friends, ask people who know and love you. Ask them, hey, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell a home? Here I am, I'm ready. And then the third thing is, I think, not aligning yourself with a brokerage, with a proper brokerage. So we all have different personalities, we all have different goals, and it's really, really, really important to soul search up in the beginning and align yourself with the appropriate brokerage, because it could make or break your first year, guys, doing that. Getting a mentor or deciding that you need to be a part of a team, joining a team, that kind of thing. I think that's huge. Susan says, how long does it take to start making money after you get your license? Well, it depends on how prepared you are. Of course, there's nothing set in stone that says, oh, the second you get your license, it's going to take you 3 weeks until your first check. That's not the case, but the more prepared that you are, the better you're going to be. So the more that you've put all of your people that you know into your CRM program. So as soon as you are licensed, you can get the word out there. Aligning yourself with a mentor that's going to bring you through the ropes, basically, so that you can learn, so that you can gain the confidence that you need, because confidence is a really, really, really big deal in this business. Gain the confidence that you need to convert those clients. Real estate's kind of like 3 months behind. So what you do now, you see the fruits of about 3 or 4 months later. So if you start to prepare yourself now while you're in school, then hopefully you'll see the fruits of that labor within 3 or 4 months. It took yours truly 8 months to get paid when I first got my license. And I did not do a lot of this stuff that I'm telling you guys. So it depends, Susan, really does. Depends on how prepared you are. Jen says, is this a good career for a stay-at-home mom who wants to get out here and there? So I would say, Jen, that's a lot like the part-time question that Jenny had asked. And it just really depends on what you're looking to do. Do you want to work with the general public? Because if you want to work with the general public and keep your butt out of court, you probably should get some experience under your belt. And I don't know if just leaving the house here and there as a stay-at-home mom is really gonna do it. You really need to work. I mean, it's 40 plus hours. Ask my husband, I work way more than 40 hours a week. Good question though. Yvonne says, Yvonne has a lot for me. With people continually entering the field, what can a person do to stand out above the rest in choosing a team and eventually with clients? Oh boy, experience is going to be huge. You're only going to gain that by, like I said, aligning yourself with a mentor, team, just getting out there and doing things. So experience is going to be big when you're trying to stand out above the rest with clients. With a team, so in other words, you're like applying to teams is my guess. Personally, I want to see somebody who's tech savvy, basically. I want to see somebody who's a self-starter. I don't have to, wake up every day and call them up and give them the pep talk. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody who's also got some business savvy behind them. Definitely looking for that. I think clients are maybe even looking for the same thing, I would say, now that I think about it. I mean, looking for, somebody who's tech savvy, looking for somebody who's got some experience. Confidence is huge. So whatever you need to do to, gain confidence, get out there and get your confidence, because that wears so well when you're dealing with the general public. So did that answer your question? I hope so. Comment, Yvonne, if it didn't. But I think that's really important. And when you're new, some of that does take time. So just know that. Tom says, is a commercial license different from a residential license? No. I believe it's all the same schooling. You just go the commercial route or the residential route. Some brokerages don't do commercial. I'm not a commercial agent, I'm residential. Some brokerages don't do commercial at all. So if you want to get into commercial, that's going to be something that you question your brokerage about, as you are interviewing brokerages. Next question from Yvonne again. What should a person's expectation in the amount of time spent per week, or what should be, a person's expectation in the amount of time spent per week? I think it's different no matter who, depending on who you ask. If you ask me, I'm Little Miss Workhorse. I would say when your eyes are open, you should be doing real estate. I know that doesn't work for everybody though. It's more than a 40-hour-a-week job. It definitely is. You're on all the time. It is kind of odd hours too, because most people work during the day, so there's a lot of nighttime showings, a lot of nighttime appointments, a lot of nighttime conversations, a lot of weekend showings, weekend appointments, weekend conversations. You're just really always on. It just is what it is. It's just the business we're in. I've accepted it, basically. Next question from Yvonne. For you personally, what have you found to be the most positive and negative aspects about being in the real estate industry? Oh gosh, we could be on this question probably forever, Yvonne. There's so much positive for me. I truly love being an entrepreneur. I truly love pushing myself. I compete with myself daily, so every day I'm better than the day before, hopefully. And I love that. I love that competition with myself. I love business. I love connecting with people, networking with people. I love being in charge of my own schedule. Even though I'm always on and I'm always serving clients, I still am in charge of, where I'm going, who I'm hanging out with. I get to work from home a lot. I'm home right now. I'm in my office, so it's cool. I really, really appreciate that because I like getting up, grabbing a cup of coffee from my coffee maker, and hopping on in my office in the comfort of my own home. That really makes me happy. There's so much that I've learned about business, about people in general, about politics. I mean, just so much stuff that I've learned from the industry. I can't even begin to get into all of that in just a couple of minutes here. Lots of positives. I'm honestly struggling to find negatives, and I'm not kidding you guys here. Like, if there was anything negative that I see as a negative, because she asked for me personally, I would tell you, I don't see anything. I think it's an excellent business to get into. I think it is amazing to invest in real estate. I'm a real estate investor as well. My husband flips properties. I mean, we are a real estate family. Honestly, nothing negative about it that I can see. All right, guys, is that all you got for me? Yes? I hope that it was helpful. My door is always open. Message away. Hey, Mike. We're signing off now, Mike. Sorry, you're going to have to catch the replay. But anyway, message me, you guys, if you have further questions, need referrals, anything at all. I am here for you. You can private message me here on Facebook, or you can contact me at 480-250-0023. Oh, one more question. Two more questions. Oh, Mike. Who would I recommend for a painter? Sharper Edge, of course. I love you. Tom's question is, burnout is possible in any industry. How do we avoid burnout as agents? Oh gosh, okay. So a very, very smart man once told me that an agent can effectively handle about 6-7 clients a month. So that's between buyers and sellers. So buyers are a little bit more hands-on. You know, you're in the car, you're showing them property, things like that. You know, you're doing searches, things like that. Listings are a little less hands-on. I mean, you're marketing, you're doing things, but there's things that you can automate for that. So I would say, you know, about 6 to 7 clients for any one single agent a month is about their capacity. Anything over that, you're going to burn them out. And then vacations. Vacations are really, really important. In fact, I am going on vacation here in the next couple of days, so I'm pretty excited about that. But vacation. Get somebody, if you're not on a team, partner up with somebody in your brokerage that you trust that can watch your business for, you know, hell, a couple of days if that's all that you can step away for. But you gotta step away. And the funny thing that always happens when there's a vacation looming is your business skyrockets. So I'm like actually starting to sweat because I'm seeing things coming up on the ticker here because I'm about to go on vacation in a couple of days. So of course, you know, things are going to blow up even more than they have because we are starting to get into our busy season here. So, all right, guys, I hope that was really, really helpful. I thank you all for being here and spending your time with me. And I loved your questions. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.